Ooh. It is cold outside, and I have got so much to do today. Here we go. It is Friday morning, and I have got a lot to do, but I'm gonna sit here for a second. Okay. Morning. Kids are at school. It is just before 9 o'clock, and I have a list of things I have to do today. Typically, you know that I will go for a walk as soon as I drop my kids off at school, but I'm taking a pass on it today because it is Friday and it's 36 degrees outside. Not that I haven't walked in 36-degree weather all this week, because I have. It was pretty chilly every day. I don't even think it was 40. And I dress pretty darn warm before I walk out the door. One thing that I have learned about myself is that I am a warm weather girl. I absolutely love the warm weather, and I don't function well in cold weather. And I mean 50s and under. I consider that cold. Once it gets under 50 degrees, I have to really start layering. I don't know if anybody else is there, but I'm 41, and the last, I'm gonna say 6 or 7 years, I just can't take the freezing cold. So I layer, and then, because if I don't, I'll be miserable. So I have on 2 pairs of pants. I have on jeans today. I've got a pair of pants underneath, a pair of yoga spandexy pants. And then I have on a nice sweatshirt here. I've got a tank top on underneath. And then you saw how I got my big coat. You saw how on my hat and scarf and all that good stuff. Anywho, my errands today, I've got a lot of stuff shoved in this bag that I need to do. And I got that together. I started putting stuff in my bag a couple days ago that I knew I needed to get done. Here's my list. Okay, so here's my list, and I'm going to take you along with me today. Like I said, normally I will be out walking right now, but I walked Monday through Thursday. So I got in 4 days this week. I probably won't get any exercise on the weekend because that's more directly to the family time and work and stuff like that. So I try to get in my exercise when the kids are in school. Like I said, today, taking an L on that. Okay, errands. I made a list of my errands. I started making a list of the things I had to do the other day. I do talk about the importance of keeping a to-do list. People are walking by and they probably think I'm crazy sitting here talking. She walked in front of the car and looked like, what is that woman doing? Anywho, I did a video the other day on how to get more done faster, and I'm going to link that video below. This is one of my secrets to success, is to have a list, even when it comes to the errands I have to do. And here's why. Because I forget. I have this bag. Clearly in this bag, I've got something I need to drop off at the post office. I clearly have some books that need to go back to the library that are so late that I should be ashamed of myself. But I'll forget if I don't write it down. So I have written down on here post office that I need to take in, a letter that needs to go in the mail, and I have a package that I need mail. I actually wrote that down, what I needed to take into the post office. I need to pick up dry cleaning. I need to drop off those library books. I have in my trunk, my poor trunk, has a bunch of clothing donations that need to go out. In the most recent video that the video before this that I did on how to be more productive, how to get more done faster, I talk about clothing donations that sat for a week in my hallway. Well, these are other clothing donations. We have a hand-me-down factory in my family, and my daughter, my youngest, is the last one to get the hand-me-downs because we don't have any more girls that are any younger than her. So basically it falls on me for the most part to get rid of those clothes. So when she grows out of it, there's a really cool donation place, and I'll show you how it works. It is so convenient. So I have to do the clothing donation. I have some big water bottles that I need to return to the grocery store. I do have a few things that I need to pick up from the grocery store, and I need to vacuum my car. And I actually wrote on my list, this is how I do. Tell me if any of you do this. I actually wrote, instead of vacuum car, I wrote vacuum store, because I ain't vacuuming any stores anytime soon. But I think because I wrote grocery store before that and I was talking to my kids, I think I just wrote vacuum store. But I know what that means. Thank God. Anyway, I am a mess. But I'm getting myself together. And I'm going to go get these things done. As soon as I get them done, I will head home, do what work I can do, and then get back up here and get my kids. That's my Friday in one little nutshell. At least my Friday morning and Friday afternoon. So, let's get it going. But you know what? Before I do that, I got my handy dandy phone here, and I have a work email that I need to send before I get out, because I want my client to get this email before even he gets into his office. I think he gets to work maybe around 9:30. So I have plenty of time to fire this email off real quick, and then I am off to do errands. Okay, ooh, that's bright. Oh, okay, so the first stop is going to be the dry cleaners. I'm sorry this lighting's so bad. Let's see if I can move this a little bit. Is that, oh yeah, that's better. Okay, first stop is going to be the dry cleaners. This dry cleaner that I go to has a, if you have it in by 9, you can pick it up by 5. Well, there is always a long line before 9 o'clock because people want to drop off. Remember, I'm in Washington, D.C., so people want to drop off their things. This is kind of right on one of the main, this is on Connecticut Avenue, which is one of the kind of main thoroughfares, one of the main streets in D.C. I'm in Northwest D.C. anyway. So behind me is Maryland. If I stayed on Connecticut Avenue and just stayed straight, that would lead me like to the neighborhood where like, kind of, not quite, but it would lead me down in the neck of the woods of like the White House and the Washington Monument and all that good stuff. Not exactly right there, but that's the side of town where all that is. Behind me is Maryland. So what happens is everybody coming in from Maryland to work in downtown DC or wherever in DC that they work wants to drop off their dry cleaning in the morning, and then they want to pick it up on their way home. Hey, I get it. But for me, that doesn't matter because I'm not on that same time schedule. So I wait until after 9 o'clock, and then the line is like gone. And it's really, really nice because I've gotten in that before 9 o'clock line before, and you want to, sometimes it's like at least, and I'm talking at least 30 people deep. No thanks. Now I can just walk in, I can pick up my stuff, drop off whatever it is I need to drop off, and keep it moving. And now, you've seen this on my vlogs before. 1, 2, like 3, 4 doors down from my dry cleaners is my favorite, absolute favorite little, excuse me, little coffee shop slash bakery in all the land. It's called Bread First, and it is my favorite little coffee shop. And like I said, bakery, and they have all, it's like a little restaurant. But they have a sign up in their window that basically says, hey, don't bring your laptop up in here. Don't be sitting taking our tables up all day and sitting and working all day, because that's not what we want you to do when you walk through our doors. We want you to enjoy your eats and your drinks and each other as well. So when you walk in there, you don't see laptops like you do in like a Starbucks or some other place. Hey, there's a little something for everyone around here, right? So I like that. I think it's kind of neat that they want you to like enjoy each other's company and not just sit and work all day, because I would sit and work all day. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna run in there because they have this bagel. I try not to eat bagels and like processed wheat bread, but there's some areas where I make an exception, and this is one of them. They have an everything bagel. They make everything homemade in there, but then they have this veggie cream cheese. I'm not like a huge cream cheese fan, but this veggie cream cheese is homemade, so it has the little specks of fresh vegetables all mixed into the cream cheese. So good. So I'm gonna go do that, I think, after I drop off my dry cleaning. And of course, you come with me. Let's go. There's so much traffic whizzing by. I have to be careful getting out of the car. Bread First does have, in the dry cleaning place, they do have, whoops, they do have parking in the back. Parking just opened up, so I parked right out front. Okay, so I just put my stuff in the car, and now I'm going to Bread First.
Pardon me, sorry.
Bye-bye, take care. All right, back in the car, dry cleaning, and an unplanned stop at Bread First. I showed you the little, they call them cinnamon buttons. They're like donut, this lighting is awful. They're like donut holes, right? But they're like cinnamon and sugar. So I got those for my kids for after school. And then here is this. I'm just gonna eat half of it now, but I'm just gonna show you. Oh, it smells so good. Oh! Okay, so this is their everything bagel, right? It's not like super thick. It's like a real bagel. And then they don't put on the cream cheese like so thick that I can't stand it. Stuff is dripping everywhere, excuse me, or dropping everywhere. Anyway, it's messy. I'm not gonna gross you out by eating it now, but I'm gonna eat it now, off camera. Off to the next errand. I'm going to now go to deliver my clothing donations. I'll show you that. This is where I'm going to drop off the clothing donations. Full disclosure, I really was only going to eat half. I was. 5 minutes later, whatever.
I was like, hello. Good, and yourself?
Donations done. As I accomplish my tasks, I like to go through my list and mark things off. I ought to write Bread First on there just to make myself feel like I did something. I can mark another thing off. Okay, so here I have pick up dry cleaning, and I did that, so I'm gonna mark that off. And what else? Clothing donations. I'm gonna mark that off. Up next, I think I'm gonna go drop off my library books and then vacuum the store. Vacuum the car. Okay, and these two are one-stop shop, which I really like, so that's great. And let's keep moving. So this library is brand new. It's absolutely beautiful. And it was about a 2-year-long project, I think, for them to get it all done. And I was kind of sad when they decided to redo it, but it needed to be done. It was long overdue. And it's a beautiful, beautiful facility. Okay, let's go.
You want to know?
I wanted to know if there was anything else checked out.
No.
Okay, good. Oh, there's somebody blocking the vacuum. Oh, look, there's another one of the clothing drop-off things. I've dropped off stuff there too. So I think this is a delivery truck. And look, right there, right beside that green bin is the vacuum. Oh, that's annoying. There's another one like 5 minutes from here, but I feel like that would be a time suck. Maybe I'll just put that at the end of my day or skip it altogether. All right, no more time to waste. I'm gonna keep it moving. Well, I'm off to the next errand, which is going to be Harris Teeter, the grocery store. I need to get rid of my big 5-gallon water bottles. I need to exchange those to get some more waters. And I need to just grab a few things from the grocery store, not a whole lot. So I'm gonna do that. Now, I wanna tell you something. With the exception of the vacuum thing, I wanna make something clear. I plan my errands ahead of time. So yesterday, I loaded the car up with all the donations and empty water bottles. And I did it yesterday because my girls had a late volleyball practice last night. And mornings, I need to do nothing in the mornings but get myself and my kids out the door. So I wasn't going to put it off to do this morning. So I loaded that up yesterday afternoon before I even picked my kids up from school. I had those things in the car and ready to go. So this street is 16th Street in Northwest DC. If you look, let's see if I can find it to show it to you on here. Right, bus got in my way. Right in this little area right here, you may be able to see, oh, you can't really see it that well, but it's like right there. That little pointy part right in the middle of the lowest part of the trees, that's the tip of the Washington Monument. As I drive up, you'll be able to see it a little better. But 16th Street will lead you straight down to, obviously you can't. If there weren't like gates and security, you would get right up to the White House in DC. But this street just takes you straight down in that area, which is kind of cool. I think in DC, we take advantage of all of the offerings. Like we have all these free museums at our fingertips downtown. And, it's just a really cool city to live in. And I think that because everything's right here, a lot of us just take it for granted. But it is a cool place, and it's neat to think that you can just see the monument, you know, just by driving and the White House there. You see it a little better there? Okay, Harris Teeter, here I come. I'm on my last errand. Yes. Let's go to the United States Post Office. I'm gonna check my P.O. box and drop off this package and a letter and then keep it moving. Yes, I could just put a line through it, but I like to really mark it off because it feels good to get it done. Okay, so my errands are done. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. That was fun to take you along. I only did not get to vacuum the store. I'll crack myself up. I just didn't vacuum the car because that delivery truck was blocking the vacuum cleaner. Hey, I guess he has a job to do too. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. It is still before noon, which means I have a few hours before I have to go to pick up my kids from school. My car is now much lighter, with the exception of the groceries that I have in the car. So I'm gonna take those groceries home and get to work for the afternoon until I get my girls. And it's Friday, so we're just chilling. It's a beautiful thing. Thanks for checking in with me today. I'll see you next time.